Hello and welcome to VTV's live news service at 3 p.m. I'm Michael Liu and it's the top news of the hour. Vietnamese Prime Minister visits Thailand, strengthening friendship between two nations. War Invalid and Martyrs Day approaches, tributes paid to fallen Vietnamese heroes in Quang Tri. Vietnam, Laos collaborate on TV production, new TV program to be introduced to Laotian audiences. Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng left Hanoi for Thailand this morning on an official visit at the invitation of his Thai counterpart Prayut Chan-o-cha, who greeted the Vietnamese delegation upon their arrival in Bangkok. Following the welcoming ceremony, the two Prime Ministers co-chaired the third Vietnam-Thailand joint cabinet meeting. This is the highest cooperative mechanism between the two countries. At the meeting, the two state leaders noted the determination of both sides to efficiently carry out the Vietnam-Thailand Action Plan on Trade and Investment Cooperation from 2015 to 2020, bringing two-way trade turnover to $20 billion by 2020. As of June 2015, Thailand was the 10th largest investor of the 101 territories and countries investing in Vietnam, with 392 valid projects and a combined registered investment capital of $6.8 billion. The two sides also agreed to establish a mechanism on defense dialogue as well as mechanism on high-level security between Vietnam's Ministry of Public Security and the Royal Thai Police. Now, a conference about improving the constitutional effectiveness of the National Assembly's Q&A session has concluded today. Deputy Chairman of the National Assembly, Huỳnh Ngọc Sơn, praised recent efforts to enhance Q&A activities in the National Assembly. The key principles of these efforts are democracy, responsibility and constructiveness. However, he called for further improvements and innovations in Q&A practices among National Assembly deputies. Participants at the conference proposed the National Assembly monitoring law as a possible method for this. Deputies also lobbied for greater integration between committees within the National Assembly. A national meeting on e-government, e-health and intelligent transportation systems opened on Wednesday in Ho Chi Minh City. The city is currently implementing e-government, with local departments and districts being required to apply information technology systems to manage services. The goal is to cut red tape for the public and improve the efficiency of the local government.
The Ho Chi Minh City Department of Planning and Investment usually receives over 700 business registration requests from companies per day, which inevitably leads to delays. In order to cut the wait, the department launched an online registration service in 2014. Each day, the online system processes about 200 requests.
The number of online requests is increasing every day. This shows the effectiveness of our online systems. Many businesses now know they can save time by submitting their requests online.
Ho Chi Minh City has also launched an online tax filing system to reduce the hours wasted in completing tax declaration by businesses. Companies can also track the progress of their application via the online system. The city currently has 500,000 documents from 177 departments and districts connected via their database.
Human factors such as civil servants are the most important component in implementing e-government. The process requires determination because it requires changing work habits of many government officials.
We have to implement e-government system in order to ensure transparent administrative procedures. With transparency, we can easily monitor the system and win the confidence of the public.
Experts at the event believe that IT, especially in large urban areas, will contribute to reducing misconduct. It will also help to further create a transparent business environment to attract investors to Ho Chi Minh City.
Vietnam and China have agreed to enhance transport connectivity. This is one of the highlights of the recent visit of Chinese Vice Premier Zhang Gaoli to Vietnam. This is expected to create a broader platform for cooperation between the two countries' enterprises.
The Hanoi-Lào Cai highway stretches 265 kilometers and travels through 4 provinces before connecting to China's Kunming-Hekou Expressway. This is part of the Kunming-Hanoi-Hải Phòng transport corridor, which aims to promote connectivity between Vietnam and China.
To facilitate trade and cooperation between the two nations, we must improve connectivity, especially in the context of deeper global integration. In the past few years, many highways projects have been launched and completed, such as the Hanoi-Lào Cai highway.
Vietnam and China have put into operation many bus lines, 2 international border gates, and 20 routes for goods transportation. These have contributed to boosting two-way trade and tourism between the two countries. But experts say that more needs to be done to facilitate cooperation activities between the two countries.
We need an effective and comprehensive cooperation mechanism between the two governments, not only in transport, but also logistics. For example, it's likely to allow them more scope to extend areas of collaborations. I think China needs to step up dialogues with Vietnam that will help speed up and improve project quality.
The two countries are also working on improving human resources in the field to enhance the quality of infrastructure construction. Vietnam is a bridge connecting China to the ASEAN market, while China is one of Vietnam's biggest markets. Deeper cooperation in terms of infrastructure connectivity and human resources is expected to extend the scope of bilateral trade between the two nations in the future.
Vietnamese citizens will be officially eligible to apply for the International Driver's License starting on October the 1st. This license is currently recognized across 85 nations who are signatories to the Vienna Convention on Road Traffic. It is presented bilingually in Vietnamese and English and will be valid for no more than 3 years. These license holders can only drive vehicles accepted under Vietnamese law. Local departments of transport will process applications and grant licenses to eligible applicants in no longer than 5 working days. According to the lunar calendar, fishermen are entering their biggest fishing season in Vietnam's southern region, which spans from the lunar months of April to September. Fish caught during these 5 months will contribute greatly to the aquaculture production in the south. The local fishermen are hoping for a profitable season as weather conditions are expected to be favourable. Their fishing trips will contribute to the economy and help protect national sovereignty over Vietnam's seas and islands. The Mekong Delta province of Bến Tre is home to the largest coconut planting area in Vietnam. Coconut trees play an important role in the province's economic development for many years, with various coconut products currently being exported to foreign markets. In the following report, we'll look at how local people here maximise the values of the coconut trees to boost exports.
The coconut plantations in Bến Tre have risen from 37,000 hectares in 2005 to nearly 65,000 in 2015. This yields about 526 million nuts a year, which is an increase of 30% compared to early 2000. In addition, the brand name of Bến Tre coconut products has gained much more recognition in international market. This positive change is believed to have resulted from the province's efforts to plant higher quality varieties and apply advanced farming methods.
We used to export only the raw materials. Now that we've invested in technology, a great number of products are being exported to many countries. In the past, we only exported to 45 countries and territories. Now, this number has risen to 78, raising annual export turnover from $45 million to $191 million.
Besides technology, tighter cooperation between farmers, enterprises, and business promotion agencies has also had a positive effect. The production and processing of coconut products now counts for over 25% of the province's total industrial production, and initiatives have been set up to help increase farmers' incomes.
We're implementing a development plan which encourages the use of high-quality coconut varieties, providing farmers with technical expertise and calling for more investment from enterprises.
With these new measures and increasing investment, Bến Tre province has significantly improved the economic value of its coconuts. In the near future, the province will continue these efforts in a bid to bring Bến Tre coconuts products to more markets in the region and the world.
How's the Vietnam dong performing against other foreign currencies today? Let's find out in the following charts. Still to come on VTV News, War Invalid and Maltese Day approaches, tributes paid to fallen Vietnamese heroes in Quang Tri. Next, Vietnam Laos collaborate on TV production, new TV programme to be introduced to Laotian audiences. More to come in just a moment. Welcome back to VTV News. Now, the People's Procuracy of Vietnam marked its 55th founding anniversary today in Hanoi with a ceremony at the National Convention Center. State President Trương Tấn Sang attended this event where he commended the achievements of the People's Procuracy in the development and protection of the nation. He also urged for its stronger role in the future. Founded on July the 26th, 1960, the People's Procuracy has the duty of contributing to the protection of the rule of law, the self-control rights of citizens, the assets of the state and collectives, as well as ensuring that all infringements upon interests of the state and collectives, legal rights and interests of citizens should be taken action by the laws. The Vietnam People's Air Force celebrated the 50th anniversary of the Vietnamese missile troops at the Museum of Air Force and Air Defense yesterday. The event, titled 50 Years of Vietnamese Flaming Dragons, was attended by witnesses of historic victories in the air such as Suoi Hai in 1965 and Dien Bien Phu in the air in 1972. The event celebrated the ingenuity and courage of the missile crews on the nation's journey towards national liberation. This was also a chance for the new generation of missile personnel to be inspired by their predecessors to carry on the new mission of protecting Vietnam's skies and national sovereignty. Vietnam has developed its aerospace program following Vietnamese cosmonaut Pham Duan's successful spaceflight on a Soviet Soyuz 38 craft in 1980. The Aerospace Faculty of the Military Technical Academy was established to train research personnel in the field. The faculty is responsible for personnel training for Vietnam's aerospace sector.
This is a practical session for students using the Computer Integrated Manufacturing System aircraft design at the MTA's Aerospace Faculty. Their task is to use a CIM system to design and produce rocket parts such as jet engines and missile wings. Founded in 2003 with a mission to train human resources for the strategic research and application of aerospace technology, MTA's Aerospace Faculty has specialists trained in Russia as its core personnel.
Since 2000, the Academy Board of Directors has sent people to Russia to study aerospace engineering. We learn a lot from our Russian professors and also obtain background knowledge to base our lectures from.
It would have been impossible for Vietnam to master aerospace technology in a short period of time. With that in mind, the current goal of MTA is just to train qualified personnel with solid background knowledge.
Rocket booster technology is the core technology. We can never master the vastness of space without mastering rocket booster technology.
So far, MTA's aerospace faculty has completed 14 terms of teaching mechatronics and 3 terms of teaching rocket design. Hoàng Văn Thuần was among the first batch of engineers to graduate in rocket design. Now he is one of the 50 lecturers of the faculty.
I yearn to apply my knowledge to successfully manufacture a rocket one day, so that Vietnam can be independent in rocket manufacturing technology.
Along with training, the aerospace faculty aims to develop scientific research and strengthen international cooperation, so that students of the faculty can participate in national and international research projects. Currently, the faculty is cooperating with more than 20 international institutes to better cater for students and teachers at the academy.
With the 68th anniversary of the War Invalids and Martyrs Day on July the 27th drawing near, Vietnamese people from all walks of life are visiting cemeteries to pay tribute to martyrs. Many of these people are overseas Vietnamese veterans who return to be reunited with their comrades and pay tribute to their fallen friends. We'll meet one of those veterans in the following report.
Fighting on the Quang Tri battlefield in 1972, Mai Ngọc Yên, an overseas Vietnamese veteran, still has vivid memories of the war. He was wounded in a fierce bomb raid on Quang Tri and then got carried to his shack by one of his comrades. If it hadn't been for this comrade's help, Ian wouldn't have survived. 40 years have passed, and now Ian has the chance to be reunited with some of his comrades in Quang Tri.
I'm
deeply moved to have a chance to see my comrades again today. I'm forever grateful for what they did for me and for the invaluable memories we shared together during the war.
For these veterans, memories of their fallen comrades are always the most heartbreaking ones.
Our regiment shot down 290 aircrafts during 1971 and 1972, but sadly, 400 of our comrades died during that time. We are here today to pay tribute to them.
A great number of Vietnamese veterans are now living abroad. They have established Vietnam Veterans Associations in different parts of the world, with activities held throughout the year.
Despite the geographical distance, overseas Vietnamese veterans always care for their comrades in Vietnam. Many of them have supported veterans who are in need at home.
Overseas Vietnamese veterans also played an important part in educating younger generations of overseas Vietnamese about their homeland's history and the sacrifice the predecessors made to maintain peace.
An online operation was successfully conducted by local surgeons on the Spratlys on Wednesday, July the 22nd. Doctors from the 175th Military Hospital supervised the procedure online. 32-year-old patient Lê Trúc Hà was suffering from appendicitis, so Dr. Thái Ngọc Bình decided to begin the operation at 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Deputy Director of the 175th Military Hospital, Dr. Trần Lệ Đông, tuned in live to supervise the proceedings. The successful operation lasted an hour and the patient is now in a stable condition and will remain under observation for the next few days. A new Vietnamese news bulletin is going to be broadcast on Lao National Television from September the 2nd this year. This is also the objective of a training course which is being jointly held by Vietnam Television and Lao National Television.
As part of the cooperation between Vietnam Television, VTV, and Lao National Television, the training course on mapping out news bulletins and TV shows for an international channel was started on July the 16th. This is a chance for reporters from VTV International Channel or VTV4 to share their experiences with their Lao counterparts.
Our biggest expectation in this training course is to gain experience in producing TV programs in Vietnamese. We are going to broadcast a Vietnamese news bulletin to popularize Laos policies among Vietnamese people living in Laos and Laotians who can speak Vietnamese.
This training course is part of Laos National Television's efforts to establish an international channel, similar to VTV4 channel. Their short-term objective is to broadcast a Vietnamese news bulletin on September the 2nd. Lao reporters joining the course can participate themselves in producing news in Vietnamese.
During this training course, I can learn much from the way VTV reporters collect their news sources and select topics for TV report. That is quite impressive to me, and it will help a lot later in my work. It is an honor to cooperate with Laos National Television. The two TV stations have worked together extensively in the past. Now Laos National Television wants to develop a Vietnamese news bulletin, which is quite similar to our bulletins in other languages. We will have a lot of experience to share with each other.
Vietnam Television and Lao National Television have a long history of cooperation. In addition to regular training courses, Vietnam Television also supported the neighbor countries' media during significant regional events, including the 2004 ASEAN Summit and the 25th SEA Games in 2009.
The cooperation between Vietnam Television and Laos National Television is fruitful. Vietnam Television began supporting us from 1983 when our television was established, both in human resources and equipment. We highly appreciate Vietnam's assistance.
As scheduled, the 15-minute Vietnamese news bulletin will be on air at 6 p.m. Vientiane time, weekdays on Channel 1 of Laos National Television.
An exhibition entitled A Small Paris in Hanoi took place in the Vietnamese capital on Wednesday. Through a series of photos, German-based photographer Matthias Meyer has married the spirits of Paris and Hanoi based on a combination of negative space, colour and contrast. The images emphasise the architectural heritage and the nostalgic relationship between the two countries. More to follow.
Beer corner in Hanoi and street corner in Paris. People drinking iced tea near the Seine in Paris. Hanoi's all-quarter cyclos working a road in Paris. Despite differences in space and culture between the two countries, German photographer Matthias Meyer has applied photographic techniques to discover and suggest the coexistence of Hanoi and Paris through the use of double exposures.
I've lived in France for a few years. When moving to Vietnam, Hanoi's buildings sometimes remind me of Paris, or the way the French people have a cup of coffee before breakfast. Its beauty doesn't stem from the Western lifestyle, but from the old buildings themselves. That's why I wanted to initiate this project.
As Hanoi is developing, less space which ages of French architecture remains. It is quite a feat for an artist to treat every corner of Hanoi, fighting the lust of the city's European touch to assemble them together without the use of modern software. Only a few of the 500 pictures taken were chosen to exhibit. However, these few photos here still give many people inspiration and thoughts.
I'm really interested in the creative way the photographer captures these landscapes. I can't distinguish the city landscapes of Hanoi or Paris.
French architecture makes an important part of Hanoi. The combination of images of Paris and Hanoi in this exhibition is quite creative.
Although double exposures are by no means a new photographic technique, Matthias Meyer has created clever superimpositions, implying how strong both cities are related to each other. Through these photos, he wants people to be aware of their role in preserving the country's cultural values.
Have you ever dreamed of building your own house, shop or restaurant? If you haven't made a plan yet, here's a completely new and interesting way of realising your dream. If a real house requires much money, time and many other complicated problems, a mini house only needs your imagination and some patience, of course.
Welcome to my house. This is the result of years of my hard work. My favorite spot for morning coffee and reading the newspaper, or stargazing at night.
Well, I'm in my mini house, but you might think that only some architects can make these kind of houses, but actually you can do it yourself.
You will need some tools, decorations, and some time off your busy schedule like Hoàng Hiền and her friends here in order to build something like this. Making such a makeup table is a very meticulous procedure.
In order to make a makeup table, you will need Formex and tin foil.
Các cái văn phòng phẩm.
After finishing a model that you spend much time and work on it, you will learn patience, concentration, and meticulousness because you have to work with so many small items.
Some miniature houses are more useful for children's play.
Cô ơi, chị sẽ lấy hai con này làm ba mẹ nhé. Thế em dùng hai con này để làm anh em.
The toy even helps to form their dreams.
Em rất thích chơi những trò như...
I like assemble toys like Lego, and I like this room box. I like to imagine the future house I'm gonna build for my parents.
Mai sau em xây cho bố mẹ.
Making miniature houses has steadily grown since the 1990s. The minifigures attract all kinds of people: architects for presentations, shop owners for decoration, or simply for a break from work and school.
Now, just before we say goodbye, let's take a look at the latest weather update of selected cities around the world. That's it for this edition of VTV News. Now simply log on to vtv4.vn or youtube.com/VTV4Go for more of our updated content. Goodbye for now and see you in the next bulletin of the day.